Well, hello, people. What a joy to come to you again. It's been a busy day, but we're glad that we made it here for another episode of Talk with the Missus. We're excited. We give God praise for the new month. Today is the 1st of September. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Fantastic, isn't it? 8 months already gone, and we are sure that you've enjoyed the first 8 months of the year. We believe, God, that you will be enjoying even this new month, and God gave us a great word today. He said better things. So we are expecting better things in September 2022. Today is an exciting one. I mean, we have a very, very, important topic. I think that topic is highly loaded. I was thinking to myself, maybe I wouldn't need to talk much today. I'd like to hear from people. The topic is, why was I used and dumped? I thought I was a marriage material. Why was I used and dumped? I thought I was a marriage material. I think that's a very heavy topic for us to discuss. And I mean, maybe you have been a victim of being used and dumped, and maybe you not necessarily you. Maybe you know somebody that have used somebody and dumped them, or maybe you have used somebody and dump them. I know that sounds no, but I mean, I know that may sound negative, but the question is coming from the person who saying, okay, why was I used and dumped? I thought I was a marriage material. So there's a lot for us to discuss, because we have to kind of look at you could say, I was used and dumped, but maybe the person was not a marriage material. You don't know. So what is really a marriage material? I think it's one of those things that we're going to explore, because there are people who have walked away from people, not necessarily because they wouldn't have wanted to marry those people. Yes. And then the person they walked away from would say they were used and dumped, but actually maybe they would have wanted, or they really wanted to marry that person, but the person was just not a marriage material, not ready, or maybe
it's not even just marriage material.
Maybe the person feels that they're ready, but maybe there are just some things that that are fundamental to marriage that we're lacking. So I think it's a very heavy topic, any way you look at it, but we're going to discuss it. We thank God that we have you with us on the platform. So together, we're going to really dig deep into it. We're going to try to acknowledge some of those who are joining us, like we do it on Talk with the Missus. Let us know if you are online. Tell us where you are joining from. Say hello and that kind of stuff. And just let us know where you are joining in from. Quite a lot of you joining in from different places.
Right,
I would like to acknowledge you. So the missus
has jumped in.
Yeah,
she's jumped in.
Well, it's good. It's good that she's jumped in.
She's been waiting.
She's going to take it from there.
Praise God. All right. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We are so glad to have you on board. As you know, here on Talk with the Missus, or if this is your first time on Talk with the Missus, welcome. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for tuning in with us. You have just joined an online conversation where we discuss everyday issues in a practical and biblical way. Today we're discussing, why was I used and dumped? I thought I was marriage material. Issues that happen to many people. Many people. I mean, literally it's a worldwide pandemic in itself.
It is.
It happens to
many people have suffered.
I'm telling you.
That kind of call it pandemic of being dumped.
Yes. Thinking that a relationship is going somewhere, working on it, even speaking that it is going somewhere, and then all of a sudden the other person backs out, leaves you, you're left in the lurch wondering what happened to me. Questioning yourself, questioning whether the problem is you or them, or when you're just double guessing everything. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But thank you for joining in. Those of you that have tuned in, please, as you know, let us know where you're tuning in from. We would love to give you a shout out and say hello and your name and where you're tuning in from. Just like Kerry says, hello September. Hello everyone, joining from North Miami, Florida.
Awesome, beautiful.
God bless you, Kerry, and you are welcome. And hello September indeed. And Ade, Jojo has got what is this, praying hands or praying hands, like, yes man, talk to me. So we're gonna talk to you, Ade. We're gonna talk. And then Glory Uday, she says, welcome back on stage, my pastor and beautiful wife, Sister Chioma, watching from Essex. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Great. I've got some people here on Facebook, because this is broadcasting on a lot of platforms, even on Instagram. This Facebook page, we are unable to get the comments on. We can get comments on the screen from the Pastor Moses GCF Facebook page. So if you're on a different one, and it'd be nice if you go to that one as well. But we'll read. This is from the Clinton Baroque Facebook page. We have Gabriella Hollins, who said, wow, really great topic.
Isn't it just? Stay there, Gabriella. Stay there.
And then we've got Aurelia August, who said, I think most of us have asked that question. Wow. So this is an interesting one today. Exactly. So we've got Aurelia August is in South Africa. Beautiful. Then Gabriella said we're joining from NC, so that'll be North Carolina, I believe.
Beautiful.
We've got quite a lot of people. Tell us where you're joining from. We've got Blessings, Kam Yamata, I hope I pronounced that well, joining in from Malawi.
Wow.
We've got Richard Sakodie, said, blessings, sir, very good topic. Tell us where you're joining from, Richard. God bless you. Got quite a lot of people joining in. Okay, Richard joining from South Africa.
Beautiful.
All right, we've got Livan. So you say happy new month. Great. Thank you for joining in. Tell us where you are joining from. An interesting, powerful, life-changing topic today. Why was I used and done? Should we get, chatting? First of all, I think it's a no-brainer to be asking, do people actually get used and dumped? So it's a
resounding yes.
It's a resounding yes. Exactly. So let's put it this way. Let's first of all try and look at, why do people, not necessarily you, and we want you to give us responses as well, because Talk with the Missus is a conversation. We've got Cecilia Agbose joining from Reno, Nevada. Great. We're glad that you're joining in. Why do people get used and dumped? What are some of the things that result in an individual, being used? For some people for a year, for some people 5 years, for some people even 7 years.
Do you know what? Some people, I think, are predators.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people can sniff vulnerability.
Yeah.
They can sniff your desire to want something.
Yeah.
And they will play along on that desire. They will play along on that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Just so that they can get what they want.
Okay.
So for some people, not all, but I'm just talking about a category, because there's different categories of why this happens.
Yeah.
But for some people are just straight out predators.
Okay.
And then that will now leave me to question, okay, so what is the person giving out that makes that predator feel that they are prey?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. So I agree with you. So there are predators out there who are just out there looking for people to use.
Yeah.
And so when they find a vulnerable person,
Exactly.
they play the card that they think the person will fall to.
That's right.
And use that card against that person, over and over and over and over again. So that becomes a serious issue. So what is the person who is being used then? What is it that they are giving out that the predator is able to, that is inviting for the predator? Yeah.
What's the dangling carrot?
Yeah. So I think desperation.
Yes.
I think desperation is definitely a key one. I think that for every individual, never be desperate. And even if you are desperate, don't show desperation.
Yeah, but that's
when
horrible.
It comes to relationship.
But that's horrible, because then that means that you can't even be your vulnerable self.
No,
because
you should.
There's a place that vulnerability should come in.
Yes, I mean, you should be yourself,
right.
But I mean, you can't
show.
Yeah, because this thing it starts many a time from the beginning.
Right. Okay.
A user, many a time may have defined from the onset, their mission, their agenda.
Okay.
And so when you are showing desperation to a predator, you're going to end up being used. I put it this way. For example, it's not just with relationship.
Okay.
If you have someone who is a fraud star, and you're showing desperation for money, quick money, quick turnover, and all of that, you have already given that fraudster,
it's true,
the green light that you can be duped,
it's true,
and that you can be swindled. So, as much as you're desperate for a thing, because obviously you get to a point, maybe age, maybe pressure from family and all of that. So that you're desperate. But you have to, take control. The Bible speaks of self-control. You have to still have some level of self-control of yourself, because, again, why I say desperation, because desperation will make you not question the things that you should naturally question. Desperation will not also allow you to take the opinion of others who are looking into the relationship and who are not emotionally, attached to the relationship. And as such, they are telling you, the way I look at this thing and the way I look at this guy, I don't think this and I don't think that. But you won't want to hear them. Because you are desperate, and the first thing in your mind is,
hide the flaws.
Exactly. I've been looking for this person I've been looking for somebody for so long. I've got this one now. I don't care. I don't want to lose them. That's all that's driving your mind, and everything else is irrelevant. So I think when you put yourself in such a position, you become vulnerable to being used, or maybe the right word would be being abused. And then that can put you in a position where the person can eventually, when they feel that they've gotten all that they want, then they walk away. I mean, what do you guys think? What puts a person in a position of being used and dumb? I think desperation is
one of the keys.
Is one of the keys. And especially when you show it. So you may be desperate. And again, some people can't stand in the middle ground. They are just one extreme. So it's either they're in this extreme or in the other extreme. Because now you say don't show desperation. If they're desperate, they just show desperation. I really want you. I just can't, I have to show you that, blah, blah, blah. Then if you say don't show desperation, then they are on the other end where they act like, I don't need you, I don't want you. Again, you're not going to get somebody. So you have to be able to find a balance. It is all about finding a balance, because nobody also wants to be with somebody who acts like they don't need them.
Yeah.
So
everyone wants to be wanted.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be wanted. Even men.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out so that somebody, you don't go and act in a way that you then lose somebody who would have been genuine because you feel, I don't want to show desperation. But then your action of not showing desperation is really that you've
now gone cold.
You've gone cold and act like you don't need them at all. They're just disturbing you. Why are they in your space? And that kind of stuff. I mean, you're going to end up not
alone.
Again. So I think it's being able to find that balance.
Yeah, I agree with you. What about on the flip side where you're being used and dumped not because you're desperate, but because the other person is desperate?
It's just negative.
No, the other person is desperate. The other person needs something from you.
Yeah.
And they'd see you as a meal ticket. Like, let's say in nations where let's say, Western world, where somebody would, from an immigrant, would seek settled papers, immigration papers or something. Yeah. So they can, the other person would tolerate anything that you give to them, whether you're cold, whether you're hot, whether you're steaming, whatever. They will tolerate it all just to get that thing. That's still being used. The person is still using you because of their own desperation and because of their own selfish gains and needs, just to get that end goal of what they had in mind. Yeah,
it does happen. I've seen examples of that where people have acted like they really want you, but then they're actually just there, just to get something. And in the case of getting papers, to remain in a country, and then when they get the papers, then they flip.
The flip is so real.
And they act in a way that you start thinking, oh my God, what is this person? That's why, again, you need God to lead you. You have to pray because you cannot know
what's in their heart.
What's in the heart of somebody 100%.
And they can tolerate you for years. I'm just remembering
not tolerate you. They can
pretend
and cope with you and walk with you for some years, like they are 100%
with you.
With you, but really you are just a means to an end.
Exactly.
So that's why, as a Christian, if you are, then this is where you also need the God factor to lead you so that you don't fall into the hands of somebody. Because think about it. Somebody's in a relationship, you've been there for 10 for 20 years. You are not, by the time the person is dumping you and walking away, you are not as young as you used to be, which means that
they've taken your prime.
Yes, they've taken your prime. Thieves. Some of the people that you could have been, you could have connected with at a younger age, maybe when you were 10 years younger or 15 years younger, they're all gone out of the space because the older you get, everybody is
your pool.
The pool becomes smaller. And then so they've not just robbed you emotionally, they've robbed you of opportunities that you could have explored were they not there in your life. So the God factor comes into play, I think.
To help you actually navigate to, let's say, have the discernment of spirit, to be able to know who is who. You can't know who's who. It's the Holy Spirit.
It's the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit has to help you.
So he would lead you. So if you ask him for his help, he would lead you. Literally just on Monday, I was having a conversation with somebody, and the lady's 53 years old. She was talking about she's buying a house and stuff. So I'm now like, oh, congratulations on buying the house. When do you complete? Because she's talking about exchange and complete in the UK. Said, well, she doesn't really want to buy this house. She's been forced to. Her husband has divorced her. A husband of I don't even know how many years, but she said he knew 13 years ago. And she's 53 now.
So 13 years ago, she was 40 and she's 53 now. And then you think about it, and you mentioned this thing to me. And I said, the people she could have met when she was 40, she may not meet such people at 53. So if the man knew 13 years ago that he wanted to leave her, and still sat down there for 13 years to just get whatever he can, and then now walks away and leave her at 53, she's now being forced to buy a house that, she was not planning to, and then thinking now, what's she going to do? She's 53, getting to old age. Will she find somebody to connect with and all of that?
How genuine is that person?
How genuine is that person? So I think it's all of those factors. That's where the God factor comes in. But you do your role as a human being. And sometimes we have to, we know that there are negative people out there who may sometimes want to talk you out of really great relationship because they are jealous. But it's true. It's true. But we should know, as you should know, before you get to the point of considering relationship, you should know genuine people in your life who are objective with their opinion about other things, so that when you are going into a relationship, they may be able to see things that you don't see, and as such, they'll be able to tell you whether they think this person, you may think is all nice and rosy right now, but is disastrous.
Exactly.
We got some comments,
very true.
Which I think we should read.
You guys are doing so well. Thank you for all the comments. Keep bringing them in.
Yeah, this one said, Glory, they said, when someone is showing desperation, then whoever is the predator then plays on it.
Yeah.
When I was talking about desperation, then Carrie Lewis said, you are so right, Pastor. She said, desperation can lead to you being taken advantage of. Ebere has made a very solid point here. She said, I always say 5 years in a man's life is not the same 5 years in the life of a woman.
That's right.
And it's good. It's good that it's coming from a woman. Yeah, God bless you, Ebere, because it was a man that made that statement. Then young women, what's he talking about? But it's the truth. 5 years in a man's life is not the same as 5 years in a woman's life. And as a woman, you should be able to understand that. Ngozi Noram said, hello, my pastors, I'm joining on board from Rice Sleep. Thank God for better things in September. Yes, indeed. Amen. Yes, indeed. Amen. Ebere continued and said, I have so many suitors growing up as a young woman. I think it doesn't take 12 months to know whether someone wants to marry you. Court and date with a purpose. Yeah. So when you're courting people and you're dating, date with a purpose. You should have objective. I was having a conversation with somebody today, and there's this. You could call it somebody who they start chatting with, and I said to them, yes, it's been some weeks, but I mean, at this point, you should be asking this question, that question, that question, and that question, because you need to know what this is all about. And I think that is very important, because you don't want to be just a therapy for somebody for a season, and then you're thrown.
Therapy as in what? Someone you talk to and you offload
your life to, and or just somebody that
you leave them and go
exactly, and then go somewhere else. So you need to know.
I ain't your therapy therapist.
So I think that people can be used in that, and then obviously some people are just the nicest of people. They're not desperate, they're just good heart. They just happen to meet the wrong person, and that person played their card very craftily, deceived even everybody around them, came into their life. My prayer is that you will not be one of such people in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But then the other side of the question is why I thought
I was marriage material.
I thought I was married material. The question I was used and done, but I thought I was married material. I want us to look at what is a marriage material, whether it has to do for men or for women. Now, some people may have issues with these and say, oh, what are you talking about? Why you think is a man, is a woman? No, there are people who are men, but they are not marriage material.
They're not husbands.
They're not husbands, yes. Yeah. There are people who are women, they're not wives. And if they're not wives, they're not marriage material. And I need your help, because I want you to speak into this. Let us know what makes a man a marriage material and what makes a woman a marriage material. Because there have been cases, we've heard of cases where, you see a guy who has been with a lady, for years, maybe even 10 years.
Yeah.
And 10 years has 3 daughters.
Or 3 children.
Or 3 children.
Mix.
Well, it doesn't have to be daughters here. Has 3 children with the lady. And then
with the same lady.
With the same lady, yes. And then, he leaves.
Yes.
And meets, it never takes her to the altar to marry her.
Wow.
And then meets another lady, leaves her, meets another lady within months. That other lady was not in the picture when he left her. Meets another lady within months. And within months, he's talking about marriage. And taking that lady to the altar, and then you're asking him
10 years versus few months.
Exactly. What?
And he's ready.
And then he's saying to you, I'm ready, or I was ready. I would prefer to have been with the woman who has got my children.
So the mother of his children.
Yeah, the mother of my children, to marry her. But she's not just a marriage material. I have waited all these years and I've tried and just to see would she change. So for me, taking her to the altar to marry is a problem. I thought she will change. I thought things would be better, but she's not just a marriage material. And then you have the same, even for some ladies who have, children with some guys. They've had 1, they've had 2, and they say, I'm looking for a husband.
Yeah.
But what about this guy? Or maybe even the guy is interested. Say, no, I can't marry him. Honestly, I can't marry him. I know I have children for him, but I can't marry him. So the question is,
what makes that disqualifies the person?
Exactly. What disqualifies the person?
Yeah.
What disqualifies the person and takes them out of the scope? Because you could say, oh, she was good enough to have 3 children for you.
Yeah.
And then, but not good enough for you to put a ring on her finger and marry her. Or he was good enough for you to have 2 or 3 children for him, but not good enough for you to marry. So what
if you don't have children, they were good enough for you to be with the person.
The person, yeah.
You're sleeping good with the person, you're squeezing up the person, you're using up the person.
Exactly.
But then when it comes to actually making it official and putting it on a godly level, taking it to marriage.
Yeah.
No.
Say no. Oh no. I can't marry. I'm looking for somebody. When I say the person, I will not. So what is it that actually makes individuals, we could say this one is not a marriage material. This is what makes this person marriage material. I would like us, our wonderful audience on Facebook, on YouTube, just send in your comments and I would do well to read them. We want to know what makes somebody a marriage material.
I know that what I'm about to say has a big part to play with it, but it's not all.
Yeah.
There are other things.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know that the character of some people disqualifies them from somebody else wanting to be with them all the days of their life.
Yeah.
Because they think, I can't deal with this character every single day of my life. I can't deal with this character. This person's character stinks and I can't deal with it every single day of my life. So I know for some people, it's the character of the person that is a put off from them. The person is a headache for them and they can't deal with that all the days of their life.
Yeah.
For example, some men, well, not even some men, most men, and even it's in the Bible, they prefer to know that they're coming home to a peaceful home, somewhere that they're not going to be over,
not being overquizzed,
not being overquizzed, not being rude to, not being tugged at, like their headship is not being in contention, like where the woman is contesting for his head, as the leader and, bullied, to do things that he doesn't want to do. Some men don't want that.
Yeah. So as much as he loves her, if he sees that,
and he loves the thing he's getting from her, let's put that
exactly. He loves her and he loves the thing he's getting from her. Yes.
Yeah.
But when he sees that aspect of when he comes back home, he's being targeted, he's being over questioned. It's like his leadership is being contested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then for him, she's not a marriage material for him.
Because men want peace.
Yeah.
This woman is not going to give you peace. So for some men, it will now, he will excuse himself out of the equation.
Yeah.
And even though he's with the woman,
yeah,
he's looking out for somebody else.
He's looking for a woman that
will give him
peace. Yeah. So I think that that's true, and I think that part of that also is that for a man to see a woman as a marriage material, we still have to look at the men, because there are some men that are not marriage material. We must
look at men, look at men. Some men are not married.
But let's look at women, since you started from there. For a man to see a woman as a marriage material, I know that society today, there are all kinds of vibes and things being introduced, feminist and all of those kind of stuff with several agendas that is making, women, it's like women are not contented with being feminine,
just being a woman.
Or just being a woman. It is like, so when a man is looking for a lady, he's not looking for another man. He's not looking for another man. And men generally, somebody that's proven, somebody that has ego, men generally have egos. And then if the ladies is meeting, they are all egocentric. It becomes the competition he's having with other guys. Exactly. He's not going to be having it with the woman. So for him, she's not a marriage material. Because she's proving.
She's not allowing me to lead.
Exactly.
She's not allowing me to be a man.
So I think it's very important that we understand that for us to be, that, which you can say, okay, I'm not a marriage material because I'm a male and I have beards. No, that doesn't make you a marriage material. You're not a marriage material because you are a lady, you've got breasts, and you've got wigs and makeups on and you look beautiful, you've got figure 8. That's not what makes you a marriage material. And sometimes we think that the person should just see your beauty and that's it. And bow. And that's all you need to qualify for a top-ranking man or a top-ranking woman. But no.
It goes beyond that.
The world does not work like that.
It goes beyond that.
So it goes beyond that. So I think that there's elements that makes you marriageable. And that is why, before anybody, challenges that, which you're allowed to, that is why many times when people marry, and for those who are married, you start looking at the things you complain about. Those who have issues in their marriage, you will see the things they complain about. Oh, he doesn't talk to me, no communication. Oh, she's not submissive. Oh, he's not that. Oh, those things, because those are the things that actually make somebody marriageable. So I think we need to ask ourselves, am I a marriage material? And I would love for our audience, because all of you have gone really quiet. Tell us, what do you think? What makes someone a marriage material? Whether a male or a female. I think we got something from, let me see. Ade said, she said lack of communication. So when your inability to communicate, means that you are not a marriage material, because marriage requires communication. And I think I'll agree with that 100%. It requires communication, both in things you want to talk about and things you don't want to talk about. Both in things that you usually just do yourself without having to consult anybody, without having to communicate with anybody. Marriage requires that you have to talk about them. What would you say?
Well, yeah, definitely. Marriage does does require that. So if you're with someone and you realize that this person is always hiding information, or I'm like literally sucking information out of them like they're a rock, then this person is not going to be someone that I will enjoy my marriage with, because communication is a very big key. So if you're seeing, or you're already identifying that this person, this potential suitor, cannot speak, does not tell me information, I'm always having to sift the information with a magnifying glass, I'm doing like a CID job on this person, like just tell me, where did you go, you know, but the person is like, why do you want to know that? Why do you want to know where I go? Well, no, but tell me, why do you want to? You'd be like, do you know what? It's okay, don't worry, don't tell me. And you, before you know it, you're now going on their Instagram, you're now going on their Snapchat, you're now going on their Facebook, all this to try and discover where they went. You already know that's not going to be a healthy relationship. So you just think to yourself, you know what, this person, the way they have made my heart and their mind, and they make me suspicious all the time, I may as well just back out. So definitely, if somebody is lacking in communication, you advise yourself after some time, because, you know, sometimes they say love is blind, you know. The
eye should be open.
But let your eye be open. Bring some glasses, do something.
Exactly. Because even those who have eye problems, they have glasses to help them out.
I don't have eye problem. I reject them, Jesus. I don't have eye problem. But at least they say love is blind, but the neighbors are not. People around you,
so bring the neighbors along.
They're seeing what's going on. So it's not something that you should be able to tolerate if there's communication problems.
Okay, we've got this. Ade said, I can't stand a man that carries phone around the house like their last baby. Most of the men that craves for peace don't really know the meaning of peace. Some of them create the heat and want you, the woman. Okay, I think she hasn't finished the statement. I want you, the woman, to pour cold water on the heat they have created. Well, I think I'm going to speak on that. You know, I agree with the thing she said. Someone who is always, you know, like she said, when she says the figure she's used, carry their phone around like their last baby, so they will never drop their phone. Their phone is always with them. Tells you that this person is hiding something, you know, so they're not marriageable. If you cannot be transparent, somebody who cannot be transparent, that you are always having to work out and figure out what happened, then that person is not marriageable. So the question you have to ask yourself, am I transparent? I'm dealing with this guy, I'm dealing with this lady. Am I transparent? Because if you're not, then you are not a marriageable material, because marriage requires being transparent. The Bible says they were both naked and not ashamed. And that nakedness, obviously, even if you look at it literally, physically, when somebody becomes naked, you know, literally naked, there are some parts of them you will see that are beautiful. There are other parts that are ugly. It's the truth. You could have tummy, you know, rows of tummy over. There are just some parts of the body that will be ugly to look at, and other parts that are beautiful. But the Bible says still they were naked
and not ashamed. It's like, so, be naked with the lights on.
Exactly. So when you're going into a relationship, if you want to make yourself a marriageable material, then learn how to be transparent, truthfully transparent. But then she's also
truthfully
transparent.
Because some people, they are transparent. They're telling you stories that you want to hear, making up all kinds of scenarios and situations when probably 10% of what they've said is actually what happened.
Okay, so
all the rest of the 90 are just fables. So
being truthfully transparent, that makes you my material, because you're trying to come and build a life. Because believe it or not, that person is going to find you out one day. No matter how stupid they are today, they will find you out. They will find you out. Because time, like I said, time is a revelation.
It is.
Anything you hide today, time will reveal it one day.
That's right.
That is as simple as that. And then she said sometimes some men create the heat and want the woman to pour cold water on it. I want to speak on that a bit. I think everybody who is getting married, whether it's the man or it's the woman, you have to know how to pour cold water on heat.
It's true.
When it's stirred up in the house.
It's true.
So let's say, for example, a man will not consider a woman who fans the flames that he lights up in an environment, and then she fans it, or she pour gasoline on it.
Gasoline and throw fire.
The man will not consider her marriageable.
Yes.
So if the man says fire, those moments you should have your fire extinguisher to, pour cold water on the flame. So somebody who can create peace when the other person is stirred up. Vice versa.
That's right.
A lady will not also want to marry a man that when she's high up there, throwing tantrums and she's moody, something upsetting her. Maybe it's even hormones that are running loose, and she's just, at it. And then the man cannot pour cold water to come out and think about all of us. Let's be sincere with ourselves. When you are throwing fire, who are the people that you value? Is those who are able to do things to calm you down, isn't it? Then you say, he understands me. I love him because he understands me. Because when I'm not in my right place, he knows. Nice. Yeah, it was just so nice. He knew how to calm me down. That's it. That's what makes you a man. Understand that marriage is about somebody who meets a need in your life. If there's no need in your life for the person to meet, then they have no place in you. So when you're throwing fire, the person should be able to calm it down. And when they are throwing fire, you should be able to calm it. So yes,
it's an expectation.
I will agree 100% that a man will not consider a woman a marriageable material when she throws fire for fire. In the same way, a woman will not consider a man a marriageable material when she throws fire for fire. Everybody will consider the other person a marriageable material when they know how to be peaceful when they are high, when they know how to calm situations down and calm them down when they are off the rail. I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you talk on this one. Kerry Lewis said, marriageable would have the feature loyalty, honesty, sense of humor, can't be too stiff.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so obviously, you need someone that's loyal, you need someone that's honest, which is what we've spoken about before. Sense of humor. Marriage isn't not meant to be everything is official, everything is serious, everything is what are we doing tonight? What are you doing tomorrow? What are we doing next week? What are we, it's not an agenda. We're not in a CEO board meeting every single day of the week.
Yeah.
You need to have a time that you relate with the person on a friendship level.
Yeah.
That's why I always say marry your friend.
Yeah.
Somebody that you can just gist with, somebody that you can just laugh with, somebody you can just enjoy their presence. It's very important. And it says you can't be too stiff. So that's the whole thing. Some people, some I don't know whether it's maybe mindset or upbringing. Some people maybe saw their parents always official, always on a, what are we doing today? What an agenda kind of basis. And then I think, okay, that's how marriage is. And then I'll bring it into their own home and it's not working because nobody can endure a lifetime of meetings.
Yeah.
Even us right now, can you have Zoom meeting upon face-to-face meeting upon Zoom meeting upon face-to-face meeting with agendas, with targets, with action plans every single second of the day? Is not possible.
Yeah.
So the same way that you can't do it even on what is on official level, which is work and career and business and what have you, why are you bringing it in your home? Your home, which is meant to be your kingdom or your palace or the place where you find the most joy. Why are you now bringing one kind of, very official way of doing things? So be fun with the person, be free with the person, slap their bum if you need to slap their bum, talk about their tummy if you need to talk about their tummy, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah, lighten the mood. Let the place be a happy place. Exactly. You've got one life to live.
Literally. You've only got the one life to live. So let's enjoy it and not endure it, please.
Okay. And A3 Clan said, a God-fearing man, a man that is willing to add value to the woman. So yes, a marriageable man is a man who is willing to add value to the woman. In the same vein, a marriageable woman is a woman who is willing to add value. That's why we have to understand. Yeah, that comment is great, because we have to understand that everybody will marry somebody that they feel meets a need in their life.
It's true.
Whether you believe it or not.
Whether you know it.
Whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to marry somebody that they feel meets a need in their life. And everybody wants to marry somebody that they feel, genuinely wants to marry somebody that they feel they are needed in that person's life.
That's fine.
So if you are a woman who is acting in a relationship with a guy, like, I don't need you, I can do without you, I'm just here, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be there to marry you, because everybody wants to be needed.
Yeah.
If you're also a man who is treating a woman like, I don't need you, you are just like a piece of furniture,
It's true.
She will not be there, because everybody wants to be needed. So,
and even if they do marry, they will not have a joyful.
They will not have a joyful marriage. They'll not be joyfully there.
Yeah.
Because the person you are marrying, you want to know that I need this person, and that's how you can see the value they are adding to your life. Yeah. And that's how the other person they can also see the value you are adding to their life. You
behave like in fact, you're just lucky I picked you.
Exactly.
You're lucky. This as if you're nothing. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't want to be with that kind of person.
No. We've got Glory Day, who have said, also, when someone is doing something that is wrong and doesn't want to be corrected, not being open and honest in a relationship, then they are not a marriage material. Yeah. Okay. Ebere said, marriage requires acting foolish and ignorant. Sometimes it's good to keep quiet.
Exactly. I always say this thing, that sometimes you have to behave as if you have the deaf and dumb spirit. Some things you did not see, and some things you did not hear.
Yeah.
Just so that the marriage can work. And everything can flow sweetly. But sometimes some people just do things to annoy you.
Yeah.
Some people do things foolishly.
Yeah.
Some people have transferred aggression. It wasn't actually targeted at you, but maybe something that happened outside at work with a colleague or even with their family member. They're now taking it out on you because you're the closest target. Yeah. So it's a transferred aggression. Yeah. So sometimes you identify, okay, he didn't really mean this, or she didn't really mean this. I'm going to ignore it and move on. But if you keep on majoring on the minors, then that's when all this point proving and pinpointing and World War III and all these whatever, or Cold Wars will now start.
Because I think it's a very important question that each person needs to ask themselves. Yeah. Am I a marriageable material?
Yeah.
It's not just I'm matured and beautiful. I've got this, chest. I've got these muscles, I've got beard, or I've got, my breast is this size and my bum is this. That's not what makes marriageable material. It's totally way far from that. And I think that is important that you genuinely ask yourself.
So it's not about the container. It's about the content.
The content, that's it. That's
not about the container. Whatever you carry is what you carry.
Yeah.
Whatever it can everybody.
And that content, the content can be poured into any kind of container.
Exactly.
It will still carry it.
Yeah.
It's true. I just said, Pastor, what if your fire extinguisher finishes? That's it. In marriage, your fire extinguisher can never finish. That is the thing.
Yeah.
That is
you have
what
to learn tolerance.
That's what makes you marriageable.
Long suffering.
I wouldn't use the word long suffering because that's what people have suffered to death.
No. Yeah.
Some people have been abused, beaten, and all of that. And say long suffering, suffer to death. No, but fire extinguisher, your ability to calm a volatile situation down. That fire extinguisher should It's it has to be an inexhaustible one.
Yes.
And that's what actually makes you marriageable, because every person, everybody in the world can spray some fire extinguisher occasionally here and there. Every person can spray. But when you are, what makes you marriageable is your ability to be able to spray your fire extinguisher every time it is needed, and there is still content to pump out of it.
Okay.
That's okay. Do you want to read this Billy's comment?
Okay. Yeah, she said marriage requires overlooking or at times. I have learned to give my husband the last word on the issue, even when he is wrong. Just allow them. I take that. Okay. So just allow them. Say, okay, no problem. You can be saying whatever in your mind. Sometimes it's just not being vocal. It's just, processing some things in your mind and just being happy to just allow the other person win. Give them some wins. If it's a win thing, give them some wins sometime. So I agree with that.
Okay, so we've got Anna. Do you want to do that?
So Anna Bella Chang King, she says sometimes we try to bring peace, but they always do things to provoke women. After they complain, they need peace. Yes, you're saying you need peace, but then you're doing some things that are provoking us. And then you're saying you need peace, but then you're provoking us. You're provoking us, and you say you need peace. Do you really need peace?
Yeah, so you shouldn't really be doing the things that provoke. No. But also, let's not just try to bring peace. Let's actually bring peace.
Exactly. Yeah. If you know that there's some things that you're doing is going to annoy the person, marriage in itself should be something that you are trying to please the other person. You're trying to make the other person be comfortable and, enjoy their time with you. It's just for a moment. It's just a fleeting time. All these years that we've had, it's just a short time.
It's short,
as opposed to eternity. So let the person enjoy that short time that they have with you. Most marriages, it depends on the age of the people when they marry, but we're looking about 25, 30, maybe 40, max 50 years. It's a short time. So, well, some people say, 50 years is short, but in the grand scale of eternity, it's a short time. So let them
enjoy of those years, your youthful years of marriage are not really much. Most of it is then at older age. Do you understand? So, and many a time it is in those youthful years that you should actually enjoy together that people give people a lot of trouble. Because when people cross a certain age, if their marriage have crossed a certain age, it happens. You can never say it doesn't happen, but many a time divorce becomes rare because they've come to understand each other. All right, Ebere said, use and dump is often a product of having sex when you ought to be watching, fasting, and praying.
That's another one.
Yes.
That's a major one.
I think that's a major one. Yeah, because when people say, oh, he used and dumped me.
What did he use you with?
What did he use?
What was the use?
It's true.
What was used?
Especially if it's somebody you are not married to yet. What did he use? There are two factors I can think of. Is either you were sleeping with them, so you're having sex when there was no really commitment of marriage. Both of you are not married yet. Or two, it was your money that was funding them. So they either used you financially, or they used you sexually. Many a time, I think a large percentage, that is usually the case. So when you say use and dump, so when she say use and dump, it's often a product of having sex when you ought to be watching the person to try and understand them, fasting and praying to know if this is the will of God for you. So I think we need to try and get that in. Read a few more comments. Okay, we've got Nicole. She's written and she said, marriage is serious business. I'm learning greatly. So much spiritual food for thought. It is true, my dear. It is. It is. And it's always good to learn. And in life, I have said the illiterate of this century will not be those who do not know how to read and write, but they will be those who have refused to unlearn to relearn. And it's very important that we can get that in.
And I think what you're saying is very true, because unlearning a lot of things that are normal, in society, or that are permissive, or permitted or allowed in society, we have to be able to unlearn them.
Yeah.
Because if you want a marriage that lasts, it has to be built on the creator of marriage.
Yeah.
It has to be on the basis of how God has designed marriage. If you want to agree or you don't want to agree, that is up to you.
Yeah.
But the person that created something knows how he wants it to be.
Yeah.
So since God is the one that created marriage, he knows how it will be successful. And if you base your marriage on the principles of God, that is what will make your marriage successful.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that people are engaging in which are not recipes for a good marriage. Like in a recipe book or in a recipe for a food that you're trying to make. Let's say you're trying to bake a cake. It tells you to put some ingredients, but you now don't put those ingredients, you put something else and you expect the same cake. It's not going to work. It's going to be different. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to taste the way you wanted it to taste. So if you want your marriage to be sweet, like God has designed it to be, follow God's ingredients, which is his word.
That's it. All right. So people, well, our time is up. We're going to have to wrap up. I just read this comment from Ade. She said, check your spouse upbringing. Ask questions before marriage. Yes, you should have a one-to-one chat with your future mother-in-laws concerning your husband's upbringing. Oftentimes, you'll be surprised of what you hear.
But with wisdom.
Yeah, do it with wisdom.
Not interview.
Yeah, you're not
so what's happened
exactly.
when he was...
And then you're writing notes. It's like you brought her to an interview room. That marriage may not happen. So you use wisdom. Just interact with the family. Just be there and just enjoy the moment. You would find things out. And also from the lady's side as well. In fact, anybody that you are trying to marry who is avoiding, getting to meet the people that were around your life before you met them, I think you should be concerned about that person. And somebody who's also preventing you meeting so many of the people that are in their life before you met them is somebody you should also be concerned about. Ultimately, you want to be a marriage material, and you don't want to miss that. Our time is up, people.
Our time is up. But I want us to give a shout out and thanks to everyone that has tuned in today from all the different platforms that you've tuned in from. And please do remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For if you went on YouTube, go specifically there to Pastor Moses GCF and press the like button for this video, because you like this conversation. You literally stay to the end, so press the like button and then the notification bell to let you know when we are live next. Also do the same for FMC TV. That's the church that we are pastors at, and it's a blessing for you to be able to know what we are doing there also. And also I want to say a big thank you to those that joined us on Instagram. We've got Victor to family, God bless you. Catherine Tyler, God bless you. And all those that came in and out as well, God bless you also.
Great, thank you guys. I hope that you've learned something. Don't put yourself in a position where you are used by people and dumped. Instead, concentrate your energy on making yourself a marriage material. Many a time, and these are my final words, many a time we think it's the other person that needs to change. And we never shine the torchlight on ourselves. You know what is really beneficial to you? It is not the errors you see in the other person. It is the ones that you see in yourself that you change. You have the power and the control to change yourself.
It's true.
You can't change the other person. So check yourself and ask yourself, am I a marriage material? Do I have the patience that is needed in marriage? Do I have it? If I don't have it, then I need to start working on it. Do I have, the ability to be quiet and to ignore? Or am I somebody who must confront everything? If you don't have that yet, then I need to work on it. Do I have the character that is needed? So those are questions you must ask yourself to start making yourself a marriage material. And I pray that as you do that, God will be glorified. When we say prepare for marriage, many a time for men, they feel, okay, start making a lot of money. For women, think, oh, I can cook. It's good that you can cook, but marriage is beyond just being able to cook, because we have seen many people who can cook the storm, and yet the storm took them out of their homes. So my prayer is that you will not be a victim of usandom, and you will be really a true marriage material. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow morning by 6 a.m. on the Anzan Private platform. And like the missus said, I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button now. Those of you on every other platform, try and follow us on our platform, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube. All of them, one single username called Pastor Moses GCF. And then you have also the FMC TV on YouTube. God bless you. Love you guys. And
bye.